Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Fucking weirdo.
Well, that's why you love me. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I am doing very good. It was a weird weekend, but it's done and over, and we're back at it again. Like, I was gonna say Batman and Robin, but I'm not a DC fan. So, like, I could be Hawkeye, and you could be the Black Widow.
No.
Sure, why not?
No.
That's not nice. Okay, wait. Then who could we be in Marvel Universe? Let's see.
I can be the Sentinel.
Isn't that X-Men?
No. There are Sentinels in X-Men, but the thing that I'm referring to is not.
Okay. Well, anyways. Whatever. Anyways. But so I have to tell you, like, I did not finish watching Marvel Zombies.
Marvel's... Oh, the What If one?
No, not the What If series. The one I was telling you about a few weeks ago that I think I got the recommend from trying to watch the What Ifs, but it's literally just Marvel Zombies. It's a 4-part show. It's a 4-part mini-series thing, whatever. Okay. It's a cartoon. It has like all the off characters. I was trying to finish it before, too long. And it's just like, I looked at it yesterday when I was done working and I was just like, do I really want to finish it? I mean, it's really gory. I mean, if you like gore, it's a very gory cartoon.
I remember seeing I'm pretty sure it was a What If where they had basically all of Marvel was turned into zombies.
Yeah.
And I got really annoyed immediately because I was like, well, Captain America probably not going to turn into a zombie. The Hulk definitely not going to turn into a zombie. Wolverine definitely not going to turn into a zombie. So there was so many fucking characters that's like, this is not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Now a bunch of the characters I'm like, okay, yeah, that's totally likely to happen. Like fucking Tony Stark, if he was stupid, would turn into a zombie.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to finish watching it. I just don't know if I'm ever going to get there. And it's because, it just, I'm ready for the next stage of Marvel stuff, which is Avengers Doomsday. I'm ready for that to come in because, well, you're going to have Robert Downey Jr. return
as Von Doom,
as Victor Von Doom. So that'll be interesting. And of course I have a thing for Yelena. But I feel so bad. I feel like a bad fan because I haven't even watched Thunderbolts yet.
Yeah, I've not watched that yet either.
Well, I want to watch it, but I keep getting wrapped up in doing these other projects. So like at this stage in Conversations Over Coffee, we just finally, because, somebody knows how to Google it, we just got our YouTube channel up and going. So for the people who find it easier to listen on YouTube when they're doing their workout, which, whatever floats your boat, because I have had a couple of comments of people saying, well, I can't, they got YouTube on their phone, but it runs them more data and I don't know why it would run you more data to run your web browser on your phone, but whatever. So anyways, it's on YouTube. We've put it everywhere. It's like, well, I mean, it was a little delayed because I forgot to hit the right button, but it's there. And so that's out. And so by the time I got done doing all that and then going through with the work I showed you that I did this weekend for upcoming episodes and all that, I was just like brain dead. Like, and I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to do that thing, which is like exercise your mind, because you want to exercise your mind to help combat dementia issues. Like the more you read, the better it is for you. If anybody in your immediate family has dementia, which it's not, there is dementia in my family, but it's not, it's nobody else in the family's ever had it. So it's brought on by certain things. Anyways, so like I'm trying to do that thing where I'm reading for an hour every day. And I thought, all these film franchises that I like, I was just like, okay, I'd like to do a comparative read, right?
Okay.
So I went through and I did The Hunger Games, which I know you've never seen. Have you even listened to the audibles on it at least?
I watched the first movie.
Okay. But there's 4 of them.
Yeah.
Well, technically 5.
Okay.
So you've only seen the one.
Yeah.
And you've never listened to the audibles.
No.
Okay. So Hunger Games, the books, I really liked. It was a good read. It was a voracious read. Like, of the 3 I read, one of them I read over the course of maybe 4 hours. And then the other 2 were maybe 4.5 hours each.
Okay.
So, I mean, and no, they're not quick reads like that. I am a fast reader.
Yeah.
And, but it is what it is, right? So I was happy with that. And then I got the Songbirds and Snakes, the Snakes and Songbirds, which is like a prequel to all that.
Okay.
And once and I just got it because I knew it was part of the series. And then I'm like, wait a minute. This is the start of Cornelius Snow. So the president from the Hunger Games. I'm like, fuck that douchebag. I didn't even read it. I'm like, maybe after I see the movie, I'll think whether I want to read it or not. Because when you read or you hear, when you're listening to audibles, they literally are just reading the book to you, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So there's not a lot of variation, right?
Yeah.
But when you read a book or have an audible and then you've got the movie, there's obviously they need to condense it or change things to make it flow better.
Yeah, there's a ton of difference.
There actually, so like with the Hunger Games, there was only 3 significant differences and it had no effect on how the story was going to come out and wash. None whatsoever. So it didn't matter, but it was just really, for me, liking human observation, it was really interesting seeing Jennifer Lawrence did a good job conveying a lot of things, but you can connect it all now going, oh, so that's why she acted that way in this situation because of ABCD or whatever. So then I started reading. So that one's done. Off. We went last week to the library. I got that new set. And it's one of my favorite movies. I totally love the movie series. It's The Maze Runner with Dylan O'Brien. We've talked a little bit about it before. It's The Maze Runner, The Scorched Trials, and The Death Cure, right? So it's this dystopian fantasy and all that. And I am having the worst time getting into it. Like, absolutely.
No, really?
Oh, God. I can read about 15 pages before my eyes are heavy and I'm fucking bored. I have literally read some of it every day since I picked up the books last Friday.
Yeah.
And I haven't even broke 100 pages yet. Because I'm like, ugh. and I don't know if it's because, the guy's he's a good, he has a good concept at least, right? I don't know about what kind of writer he is because I haven't read anything else that he's done. I haven't seen anything else that he's done.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to correlate it. I feel like there's things, even in a dystopian society, I feel like there's things that he's specifically doing to to obviously be more PC or younger reader friendly.
Oh, okay.
Instead of saying like shit, damn, fuck, or anything like that, it's like clunk head and like.
Oh, they have like other words that are shit and stuff like that.
Yes, they have other words, and it's like.
Sometimes that can be fine. Sometimes it's funny, but a lot of times it's just like, really?
Yeah, just replacing the words shit and the F word, totally understand. The MF word, totally get it. The C word, totally get all those things being replaced with something insignificant, right?
Yeah.
With something meaningless, right? That's just their own. Got it. But something as simple as, aw, shit, or oh, damn. I don't get it because it's just like. Anyways, I'm having the worst time trying to get into it, and it's done by a guy, what is it, Dashner or something like that?
Yeah, there was a Warhammer 40K series. It's the Gaunt's Ghosts series. And it's it's the Imperial Guard, which is basically the sort of standard army of the Imperium.
Okay.
And this particular, so in 40K, when they create units, oftentimes they're conscripting basically the majority of the population of an entire planet at a time, because it's that kind of fucking big ass setting.
Okay.
And so the Gaunt's ghosts, they come from, I can't remember the name of the world anymore. It's been like fucking 20 years since I read that book. But anyway, they are like a scout unit because their home world, they have these fucking crazy ass forests that the main type of tree that grows there can actually move.
Okay.
I mean, it fucking uproots itself and walks. And so the fucking trees actually migrate. Mm-hmm. And so they got really good at, because the trees will move around, at navigating in weird ass forests. Just because there was a tree there an hour ago when you walk by, there isn't necessarily that same tree.
You
there.
don't know what you saw.
Yeah, so
You only think you saw that.
anyway, they have this term. It's feth. Instead of saying fuck, they say feth.
Okay.
F-E-T-H. And I believe I'm pretty sure it's Dan Abnett is the author of this series. He's a fantastic author. I think, because in one of the kind of midway through the series, there's an actual comment on the term feth. Mm-hmm. And I think he got some kind of pushback from some people saying, why don't you just say fuck? And he goes into this, like the Gaunt, I believe it's Gaunt. The Gaunt is the commissar, which are kind of like a warrant officer rank.
Don't turn around. Uh-oh.
Yeah, they're based off of the Russian commissars. Yeah. And so they're kind of a warrant officer rank. They don't fall into, they're not non-commissioned officers. Right. They're not also commissioned officers. They're a political officer.
Okay.
They go through a special school and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they have the right to summary execute any fucking buddy,
well,
including the officers.
That's quite a power.
One of the things that they will do is, like, if a unit is starting to fucking break and run away, they'll start shooting their own people and tell them, get the fuck back up there.
Okay.
But anyway, Gaunt is not that big of a dick. He's actually really awesome.
Okay.
And he ends up becoming a colonel as well as being a fucking commissar. Okay. Which happens. It's very rare, but so he ends up actually taking over the thing entirely. Anyway, so he's not from this world. I believe they get raised because they're like orphans usually.
Okay.
That become commissars. I believe that their school is actually on Terra, in other words, Earth. Okay. And then he basically got shipped out there to basically indoctrinate this military group.
Okay.
And so he ends up becoming in charge. Anyway, so he's having a conversation with somebody else who is from another world or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're complaining about the fact that they say feth instead of fuck. And he actually goes into this diatribe describing exactly what the term feth means. Mm-hmm. It isn't fuck, but it's used like fuck.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting using frack.
Right.
Or whatever. Yeah, you know.
You know, language is just such a fickle thing. It's not simplified. Mm-hmm. It's not oversimplified. I mean, there's some things, dog, cat, whatever, but like in Swahili, that might be kubura, something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Pero. Anyways, I might have to see if the library has some of that, because you have told me about several of
the Gaunt's Ghosts,
the Warhammer like story series.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah.
So we'll have to look it up after we record. But anyways, only because it sounds very fascinating and it sounds very dystopian, which I do like dystopia.
Yes, very dystopian.
I like creepy spiritual stuff. I like dystopian, and here's the thing. And I literally, as I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm like, so he explains what Theth means, right? But does he explain why they use that term? And is it explained that they're using that term because they want to encompass a nicer way of saying fuck, or?
No, it's just a cultural thing. It's their culture. So the Imperium is fucking huge, right? It covers the Milky Way galaxy for the most part.
Right.
And so every world ends up with its own dialect, especially this is 40,000 years in the future. Well, the most part of 40,000 years in the future, because the year's 40K.
Right.
So obviously there's going to be deviation. However, in order to sort of counter that, it's kind of like what the Chinese did. There's a fucking official language for the Imperium.
Okay.
And it's called High Gothic.
Okay.
And basically all legal contracts and all legal information must be recorded in High Gothic, and as a result, everybody who is involved in the legal system or the government must speak and read High Gothic.
Okay.
But then there's also Low Gothic, which is kind of like a bastardized version. It's kind of like American English versus
Oxford English
versus British English. So it's kind of like a bastardized version of it. And then every planet and star system, and sometimes even every continent, will have their own dialects.
Right.
And sometimes even completely different languages, because it's been that long that you're not going to fucking have... I mean, just over the past couple 100 years, American English has deviated quite a bit from British English, but it's still understandable by both groups for the most part.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and it's so crazy. I love incorporating both sides of it, though, especially if it's like a movie based on a book.
Yeah.
Or, a TV show based on a book, or like whatever, which is like so much more rare. But anyways, I like having both sides of it to see if I can understand it, right? A little bit better, or especially if it's something I really like.
I just had an idea.
Okay.
I just remembered. So there were 3 novels put out for Palladium for Rifts.
Okay.
And I have them. I have physical copies of those 3 novels. I read them a long time ago and got rid of them, and then later I was like, I wish I still had those.
So you reacquired them?
And so I reacquired them. It was kind of difficult. It took me a while because they're not in print anymore. They weren't super popular. Basically, the only place that put them out was Palladium Books. So if you want to check those out, I can bring those to you.
Well, in comparison to Warhammer 4, I know there's a lot more material in the Warhammer universe.
Yes.
There's a ton more material, but yeah, sure, bring one by. Bring one with you one of the times when you come by, and at least let me read the first one, because it's just 3 pieces. It's just 3 books, right?
Yeah, it's just 3 novels.
So is it reflective of what we would find as far as the same, like, structure and everything that you get with the Warhammer 40K?
I mean, it's not Warhammer 40K.
No, but like the same structure, like this is a dystopian universe and we have our own thing and this is how we speak and this is how we do. And it's not, I don't have to roll dice or anything, right?
No, they're novels. They're just regular novels.
Well, because I do know that the Warhammer I've seen where they've got the thinner book novella. We call them novellas, but kids would call them novels nowadays.
Well,
because they're most of them are under 300 pages, I believe.
Yeah, those little thin books that you're talking about, those are for the game specifically. They're not novels or whatever. Although they do have comics also, but that's another story.
But so I think my problem, especially specifically when it comes to the Mayor's Runner, is there's actually a huge discrepancy between the first 20 minutes of the movie and the first 40 pages of the book. And that's my problem, is it's just like, And I don't know if there's a huge discrepancy because, like, maybe I fell asleep. I've got to watch the movie again. Maybe I fell asleep, but I just started rewatching the movie because I try to do them hand in hand so I can see how close it is. And I'm like, I don't remember this type of a building being in there, and I don't remember this guy being in that building at the start. This is interesting. So I don't know. And like I said, it's the main character. You've seen The Maze Runner? Yes, no?
I think I watched part of one of them because one of the times when we went to Eastern Washington, me and Chuck, they were playing it on
One of the channels he was watching? Yeah.
Well, no, because we had separate rooms. So I just was like flipping through channels and like, what's this?
Right.
Okay, it's some dystopian thing. Let's watch that.
Yeah, they're in a caged arena basically, bunch of trees. It's
Actually,
like
sorry, no, that wasn't the one. It was another one that's basically the same thing, just like the Hunger Games. It was the third one, Divergent or whatever.
Oh, the Divergent series.
Yeah, it was that one. That I
there's
saw.
Divergent, Insurgent, and that I like that series too. So, but what I'm finding is I just don't know. Like, there's nothing wrong. The writer's idea is fantastic, right? For the most part. I have issues with the movies too. Like, really, bitch? Seriously? No. Right? So I have a little bit of that. But I think my problem is that everything I'm reading about the main protagonist, Thomas, the main guy in this whole fucking thing, is like, he's like sneaky.
Okay.
And he's not sneaky. He's not supposed to be sneaky.
Oh, in the movie he's sneaky?
In the movie he is not sneaky. In the movie he's very forthcoming. This is what I know. Like, there's a skirmish in the very beginning. There's this altercation that happens at the very beginning of the movie. Unless I slept through reading pages, it's not in the fucking book. I'm like, I can't find it. And I just can't tell if, because the way it starts reading is that he's been there for like a few days, and then it says, "Oh, I've only been here one day," and it's like, why are you reading like this? This doesn't make any sense. It's just, I don't know if I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways,
it's kind of funny because, like, with television shows and movies that are based on books, because they came afterwards, they have the ability to write to fix inconsistencies and other nonsense, but usually they just end up creating more. Because a lot of times, I understand a lot of the time, because they're like, okay, well, there's these three characters, and only one of them is actually truly relevant to everything.
Yeah.
And so we're going to just compress all three of these characters into one character.
They did that in the Hunger Games.
They do that a lot. Have you ever seen the Magicians television show?
Not the television show, no.
Did you read the book?
No.
Okay.
The way I said that is because I'm thinking of that we talked about the different types of magician movies before.
Oh, yeah.
And so my brain just went.
The Edward Norton versus the
Hugh Jackman
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were both excellent movies.
Yeah. I think one was The Magicians and one was The Illusionist or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that.
Anyways.
Prestige. One of them was The Prestige.
There you go.
Anyway, that show, they made a television show based off of a series of novels, right? And the first book, the main character, his best friend, is kind of like Harry Potter, except it's a college instead of a whatever the fuck Harry Potter was.
Well,
because they're like young. They're like 8 or 9 going to this fucking school.
No, they're basically like middle school and high school.
Okay.
Because they have to be 11 or 12 to even go to Hogwarts, which is right where you start middle school.
Okay. Well, in this, it's basically Hogwarts, except yet you have to be an adult to go there.
Okay.
So it's basically college.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know. Well, like, people whose families are magicians would know, and so they would send their kids to this thing to be tested. So he gets an invite, and so does his best friend. They both get invites to go to this testing.
Okay.
And he passes the test, but she fails.
Okay.
And so in the first book, you only see her a little bit because it's like they go to the test. They both grew up reading what's effectively the Chronicles of Narnia.
Okay.
There's a series of book called Fillory, which is essentially it's Chronicles of Narnia.
Okay.
And so they both grew up reading those books and wishing that they were fucking real. And then turns out it is real.
Ta-da!
And so, but the girl fails the test, and this really bugs the shit out of her. However, so they do like a mind wipe on you to make you forget that you were
Even tested.
even given the invite to test.
Okay.
But it doesn't always work, and so it doesn't work on her. So it works for like a little bit, and then she starts having like a mental break, basically, because they fucked with her mind, and she's like, I know I went and did this test. And meanwhile, Quentin is the main character's name. He's like, he's not supposed to tell her.
Right.
And so he's like being cagey.
Right.
And so she has a bit of a mental break. And in the first book, that's basically the end of that character, more or less. You see her like maybe 2 or 3 times after that in the first book. The second book is almost entirely about what she did after that mental trauma, basically.
Okay.
And it goes because she finds like underground wizards, people who also either never took the test or failed the test,
Okay.
or people who are just interested in making money off of those kinds of people who actually went to the school or got kicked out of the school.
Okay.
And so, but in the television series, they do both at the same time in the first season.
Okay.
So it makes it, I kind of understand why they did it because it's doing the same time frame
Sure.
of the first 2 books.
Right.
But at the same time, it makes it so that they, it almost seems like they're rushing through stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're putting 2 books into one.
Yeah, they're doing a split focus and combining.
Yeah.
Whereas it sounds like book 1 was supposed to be more about this.
It's all about Quentin.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of the special character.
Yeah. But I mean, okay. So, but it would make sense if it was this happened over this timeline. It would make sense to kind of do it all relatively,
Yeah.
but it still would be annoying if you've read it.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, they took one character. His name is Penny. And he's this, in the book, he's a total piece of shit. And you fucking hate him. In the television show, he's really fucking cool, though. He's an asshole still, but he's the type of asshole that you'd still want to be your friend because he's fucking still also cool.
I love you and I hate you, man, but we're going to be friends.
Yeah. And, like, in the book, there's not really any really redeeming qualities of him.
Right.
But in the show, he's actually kind of awesome. And I don't know how to feel about it.
Right.
He still ends up doing all the stuff that Penny did in the books, more or less. But then they also they give him a girlfriend and weird stuff with that girl. I think that character was completely added. Yeah, I don't know. They did some other stuff, though, that was really cool. Like, in the first 2 books, the main enemy is this dude referred to as the Beast. And in the book, they talk about how whenever you see the Beast until he gets revealed who he actually is, all you see is this branch in front of his face, a branch with a bunch of leaves on it in front of his face, obscuring his face. No matter what angle you're looking at him from, there's
It's
a
always
branch,
obscured.
Yeah, obscuring his face, which is kind of hard to visualize even, but it's virtually impossible to I could think of a way to do it, but it's not a branch. It'd be a bunch of branches.
Right.
In the show, though, they did something awesome. They made it so that his face is obscured by a swarm of moths flying around his head.
Okay.
Which visually looks cool, and it's way cooler than a fucking branch in front of his face. But also, it basically gives them the ability to leave sort of a trail behind, because there's all these dead moths.
Sure.
Whenever he shows up and does something, because he'll like alter the flow of time and stuff like that.
Right.
And so the people they're basically frozen in time, so they don't see him, but they know something is fucking very, very wrong.
Right. And it would make sense if you're doing like basically a live action of it. It would make sense to use an insect of some kind, because typically speaking, it might, especially if you were in the Pacific Northwest, right? It wouldn't cause any. It would not make your brain think twice if you saw some crumpled leaves on the ground.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think anything about, leaves falling. Somebody must have opened the door and the wind blew it in. You wouldn't think anything about it. And depending on where you are in like the world, period,
I want to say they're around like Boston or something like that.
You wouldn't think about it. You wouldn't think a thing about it because of that. But, talking about moths in like the middle of winter, then that would be like,
Yeah.
Dead insects are creepy.
Yes.
It adds a creep factor to everything.
Yeah, bugs are way creepier than leaves.
I mean, they could have done flies. They could have done spiders. It would have been fucking super gross if they did that spider they have in Australia that's like the size of a fucking human head. I saw a video of that thing. I don't even remember exactly what that tarantula is called, but I was just like, I was frozen. And I grew up with a fucking tarantula in my house.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I understand why they would make little changes like that. I really do. I think so I have this guilt thing though. Like, so I checked out the books from the library, which means somebody else has to wait to read them. Thankfully, none of these books were on hold. So nobody else had requested them. I
mean, they were popular a few years back. And
several years back. But it's something where it's just like, I'm trying to do those little things like, the dietary changing, trying to work on mobility, trying to work on a few different things because this thing with dementia, the person with dementia in the family, like I'm trying to learn how to do the opposite of them because it can be the more stationary you are, the less you work your brain, the less you work your mind, the more apt you are to roll into that. Yeah. Is what one of the studies says. And who fucking knows? Because in a year from now, it could be, it's a vitamin D deficiency. It's, a vitamin K deficiency. Who fucking knows? But I'm trying to do the better thing for first I'm trying to calm, because my mind is constantly go, right? Yeah. So what I try to do is I try to get up in the morning, do do a set of chores, and then I try to read for, depending on how early I get up. Because I got up today at 1:20 in the morning as my partner was going to bed. And I did end up falling back asleep on the couch, but it was not restful and it wasn't for long enough. But, but I had stuff so I still did my same thing. I did my dishes. I did the checks for the podcast and all of that stuff. And so I'm trying to be more mindful. I'm trying to do that thing where, I work my big sponge up in my square head, but I'm just, man, it ain't nothing against the writer or anything like that. I already had a couple of issues with the movie, as it was, but then coming into this and it's just like, I was so hopeful and I just cannot.
That also makes me think of the Game of Thrones. I never read the Game of Thrones books.
Oh, they're good.
Or the Song of Ice and Fire, more correctly. I started reading the first one. After I had seen the show, the first season at least. Vicey actually lent me the book, and I was like, wait a minute. The first fucking scene in the book didn't happen in the show. At least it wasn't the first scene. Yeah. Because it would have kind of, I got why they didn't do it, because it kind of would have given things away that they were trying to make it as a mystery. Yeah. At the time. Because the very first scene you see a zombie. And it's like, what the fuck? Why is there a fucking zombie at the very
It's in the show. It's in the show. And it's in the show.
I don't remember that because it would have been fucking obvious.
It's very obvious because
for the entire fucking show that it was about zombies from the very fucking beginning.
It is about magical zombies.
When it was like several episodes in before I remember seeing anything even fucking approaching that.
Season 1, episode 1, they're out in the woods. It's 3 rangers. They're dead ass cold. And there is a guy who comes walking up on a horse, and you see the awe on his face, and he looks up, and the guy has blue eyes. And as they pan out, you see the horse is actually half decomposed. They show it very first. Yep, you'll have to go.
That.
You'll have to go watch it again because they show it very first thing because they roll right into Ned Stark and the homestead.
I must have missed that fucking part of the episode.
Yeah, probably.
Because literally 2 seconds into reading, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You know what? Maybe they switched. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the first thing. I mean, we could go in and turn on HBO right now, but I know that scene is there because Ned Stark beheads the one ranger who ran. So yeah, but yeah, no, they show it. They show this guy, and he's got massive blue eyes, and as they pan away from him, that's when you see this, and it's not like it's focused on it for a really long time, but it was like I had to so the first time I watched it, I want to say my ex had gotten like a free 30-day trial to HBO. So we wouldn't let anybody tell us shit about it because we waited until the end of the first season.
Yeah.
Before we started watching any of it because we didn't, anyways, so yeah, I very distinctly remember it, and I remember going, "There's something wrong with that horse," but we didn't know how much time we needed, and yeah, so I'm like, "There's something wrong with that horse," and my ex is like, "Shh," and I'm like, "There's something wrong with that horse, though." So yeah, and they're not zombies, but they are.
Same difference.
It's the same difference, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's. Everybody used to have this argument with that these aren't zombies. These aren't zombies. These are magical creatures. Da 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 da.
So are zombies.
And I'm like, look, and I agree with you. I'm like, it's obvious that they're zombies because they go and they, instead of biting and devouring brains, they might touch or kill in a certain way, and you become one of them. I'm like, it's very obviously it's zombies. It's ice zombies. That's what I believe that's a conversation that me and Redacted had at the shop one day. And I'm like, dude, it's just ice zombies. That's all it is ice zombies.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I was in agreement with him that ice zombies didn't make sense because of how your body decomposes and breaks down once you die. So,
Yeah, they're just magic.
So did you finish reading the whole series at all?
No, I didn't even finish that book.
You were that mad, huh?
No,
like me and Harry Potter book 5.
No, it was, first of all, those books are huge. I'm a very slow reader, like I've said before. And I was doing other things at the time. And I had that book for like 6 months or something. I was like, I need to return this before it becomes, hey, fucking 5 years later, you still got my book, bitch.
You borrowed that book from us. You borrowed it from my ex.
No.
Are you sure?
Yep, I got that from Vicey.
Okay. Oh, well, maybe it was Martin who borrowed it from us. Somebody
That
at the
could
shop
be.
borrowed it from us.
That could be.
But yeah, I've read all 5 books that are there. I don't think that series will ever get completed. I think George R.R. Martin
even stole my R.
I think at this point, because the writers did a semi, and I'm only going to say semi, decent, because there are things in the actual books that are missing out in the actual TV show that doesn't make sense for them to not be there. Makes absolutely zero. Like, why isn't this here? This needs to be here. This should be here, because this is how you can see why the character develops the way they do in the books. But so they did a decent job, right? I think at the end of it, they just got tired. I think the show writers just got tired of waiting for R to give them a big layout, because he basically was just like, just do your thing, whatever. And even though supposedly there's 2 or 3 books that are ready to be published, we've been waiting 20 fucking years.
He keeps saying that.
He keeps saying, I just need to edit it a little more, because first it was
use AI, bitch.
What doth thus speak of? I can literally hear him now. What does thus speak of? I don't think it's ever going to get finished.
No.
And if it does, it'll be a miracle, or it'll be by a ghostwriter, I think. But supposedly there's like 2,000 or 2,500 pages, so he's got enough material, even based on the fact
For
that
half a book?
well, the thing about it is so I think the average like pages on that book series in paperback is like 500 pages or something like that.
You should hire Brandon Sanderson to finish it.
That man's got enough. I see so much stuff with that man's name on it. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that shit. But anyways, I don't think it'll get finished. I'd be really surprised if it does. And because at this point, I think he's lost interest. The TV show itself is
Done.
It's been off the air for what, almost a decade now?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I think 2018 was when the last episode was put out, or maybe it was sooner than that. I don't know.
And now he's doing prequel stuff.
And I don't, fuck that prequel shit.
I don't know. I haven't experienced any of it. I played the video game.
What?
There's an MMO.
Oh, for Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Well, I used to go to the website and I used to try to go get the updates all the time. And the last one I saw, it said something about either 2,000 or 2,500 pages were written, but he had discovered at page 900 that he needed to break it into at least 2 books. And I'm going, if you knew at page fucking 900 that you needed to break it into other books, wouldn't have been fucking smarted about where's a good break point between page 450 and 650. Let me at least get something out there for them.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just a lost cause because he's been writing other stuff. And it's just like, I just think it's done. I don't know. I would love to be pleasantly surprised.
And that makes me think of 2 other authors that I love. Jim Butcher, on his last Dresden Files book.
Okay.
He was writing, and basically he wrote too much, and the book was too big, and the publishers made him break it into 2 books.
Right.
But he had completed it basically at that point, and then they're like, okay, so then he had to go back and sort of rewrite it to make it
make sense where he did the
2
breaks.
books. Yeah. And then basically, if I remember correctly, he released both of them at the same time because they were done at that point.
Yeah.
And then it's been, I want to say, like 2 years since that. And in the meantime, he came out with another book in his 3rd series.
Right.
His 2nd series, Codex Alera, was completed a long time ago.
Yeah, isn't there like 6 or 7 in that one?
Yeah, there's like somewhere between 6 and 9 books. I don't remember. But yeah, that one was done a long time ago. Although he left it to where he could make a follow-on series.
Sure.
Like, it would be interesting to see the main character's kid.
Right.
Because at the very end of that series, him and his girlfriend, well, his wife now, have a kid. And if his parents are anything to go off of, that kid is going to be amazing.
Okay.
Because his parents are both fucking badasses. But so yeah, he left it so that he could continue on, but I don't think he's going to.
Yeah.
I would love to see him do it though. But then he started a 3rd series a while back. It's the Pyres of something or other. I don't remember. But he put out the 2nd book in that series right like a year ago or something. Which the 1st book was really awesome. And I definitely want to read more in that series. But Dresden, man. And so a lot of my friends who are Dresden fans, well, especially the one who's not a fantasy fan,
right?
He's like a horror fan,
right?
So he will never read that other series. Well, either of his other 2 series. So he's upset that he put out one of those books rather than putting out another Dresden Files.
Yeah.
But I think it's sometime in the next few months coming up that the next book in the Dresden Files is coming out.
You know, and it's really a funny thing how we can really love a specific genre or something. And then so we just want to voraciously consume that genre.
Yeah.
But then when it doesn't happen the way we want it, we're just like, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Where's my next Dresden?
That particular friend, I got to read the Monster Hunter International series.
You know what I should do is that's what I should look up at the library.
Okay, yeah.
Because I have heard you speak of that, and I've heard some of the Audible on it so many times.
Yeah.
It's probably something I'd really like.
The first book is pretty good. The second book is it's okay, but for me it's very much a repeat of the first book. The third book is awesome though.
Yeah.
But you can't skip the second book. If I could suggest you could skip the second book, but you would miss so much, and that's the problem. But the third book is amazing. Then that was another series that he's upset because the author isn't doing anything with the series. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's tried and succeeded once to get other people to write in the setting. I mean, they came to him and asked if they could put books out.
Sure.
And so he had a sort of sub series called Memoirs. Because the monster hunters are kind of exactly what it sounds like. There's people that hunt monsters. There's bounties on the monsters. And there's these private organizations, private companies that do this because that's how the government, at least the U.S. government, set it up.
Yeah.
There are some government agencies that do it too, but that's another story. And the biggest corporation in the United States that does this is called Monster Hunter International. Now, they've been around since 1895, just like my hat says.
Right.
And so they have like memoirs of monster hunters in their library. And so one of the idea of the memoirs series is that they're about those other monster hunters that existed in the past.
Yeah.
And so I can't remember, John Ringo, I think was the name of the dude who wrote the first memoir series. It's only 3 books, but it's about a dude who was around in the 80s and then died in the early 90s.
Like the 1880s, 1890s?
1990s.
Oh, okay.
1980s and 1990s, yeah. And then this relatively recently, a couple years ago, a lady wrote a book, started a memoir series for another monster hunter, but that book wasn't so great.
Yeah, I mean, not only would you have to be a very huge fan of the very specific monster hunter, but you would have to have, you as the writer would have to have a deep love of the way that character is currently written, and not go in there and do some hocus pocus and be like, so even though Leonardo Lizard Slayer killed 767 lizards with evil lizards with the flick of his tongue and tail, if that's his story, that's his story. You can't all of a sudden go in there and be like, yeah, so he was just like in this constant turmoil for killing his own. I mean, no, you've got to stick with what is known about the character.
Well, that's kind of the thing. Most of these characters are not characters that were part of the regular series. It's just, okay, there's all these fucking
secondary characters and shit.
Well, a lot of them, they're assumed characters, not characters that the Larry Correia has actually written about.
Yeah.
So I think the Iron Hand dude, Chadwick Gardenier, what a douche name.
That sounds so fake. I'm sorry if that's your birth name, dude, but your name sounds so fake.
Yeah, Chadwick Gardenier is the first memoir that they did. And I don't remember. So there's an event that they talk about in the regular Monster Hunter series. And that's where Chadwick dies. So think of it this way. You've seen a bunch of names up on the wall, and these are all people that died in the line of duty.
Right.
And there's this huge cluster of names that happened on the same day. Mm-hmm. And you're looking and you see this dude named Chadwick Gardenier. And then later on, you get to hear his story. That's what the memoirs, what the first memoirs.
And it's if you love this, if you truly love the series, and you have a way that you think you can contribute that is good for you as the reader, is good for you as the fan, and you think other fans are going to see it that way, that's great. But if you have a writer who's coming in and they're just like, oh, I'm just going to totally piggyback off of his success, make me a few dollars, which is kind of what it sounds like, if because you are a picky listener.
Yeah.
And you are a picky reader, but if it makes sense in the world, you usually have the opinion that it makes sense in the world. I don't personally like what they did with this character, but it makes sense in the world. And that's not what I'm getting from you.
No. So like I said, the Chadwick character, he wasn't even mentioned. Just the event was mentioned in the regular Monster Hunter series, right?
Right.
And then this other dude wrote Chadwick's story. And then this lady, she's writing another Monster Hunter who's never been mentioned at all. It's just she's kind of, well, for one thing, she's not really human. But
the character or the writer?
The character. No, so as far as I know, well, first of all, the dude who wrote Chadwick's story, Larry and him are friends. And that dude has written many, many books on his own. Mm-hmm. And so Larry knows what kind of writer he is and was like, sure, you can write in my world.
Yeah.
The same with the lady. I don't remember her name, and I don't know where he knows her from or whatever, but
He banged her once, who knows?
I don't know.
That's just an offhanded comment, y'all.
Yeah. There was another lady who wrote a book part of the main series.
Right.
I want to say it was actually the last regular Monster Hunter book that got put out.
Right.
Because it was mainly from a female perspective. Most of the other books are from a male perspective.
Sure.
Because, well, the main character of the main series is a dude, and it's basically Larry Correa.
Nice.
Well, because he's like this giant dude who was he's an accountant.
Okay.
And then he becomes a monster hunter. And that's basically what Larry Correa was. He was an accountant, and then he became a writer. And he's super into guns. But anyway. I'm going to have to look them up. Mm-hmm. Only because we've talked about Monster Hunter events off and on for the last 15 years. Yeah.
And it's just, I always, I haven't had a library card for so long, and then I just got one.
Yeah.
And like I said, I feel kind of guilty because I have these books, and I'm just like, I just don't see myself getting into it. It's not, obviously, it's just my opinion for me. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's written a character that is sneaky. I feel that in the book the character is very represented as sneaky and not as forthcoming as he should be. Okay. And that's not how Thomas was in the movies. That's not how the main character was in the movies. Okay. In the movies he did have confusion, but he was as forthcoming as he could be. And, there's like weird differences that set the tone wrong. And I have tried, and I just can't get it because every other fucking paragraph is, and he looked at Chuck and he was angry. How dare Chuck speak to him that way? But that's his best friend.
Okay, that happens.
I mean, it's just... Everything is just about the convenience of this kid, and that's just not how the movie series is. So I don't know who did who an injustice, but I definitely feel like so far apples to apples I can't compare. Storyline to storyline, hands down, the movie has it better. This I just can't get. They're also I don't know who was the last person to actually read that book. but the book smells funny too.
Wow.
And that might be a thing for me as well, because like I said, I get up, I try to do a routine. I'm trying to read an hour every day.
Yeah.
And at least I'm trying to read an hour in the morning, and just like I said, kind of calm my mind and get my connections going the way they need to be going. And then I have been trying at least every other night to read for about a half hour at night. And, it was funny. My partner said to me the other day, he was just like, "Oh, that's awesome. You're reading." And I'm like, I read all the time. And he was just like, "Well, I know, but like," he was just like, "I think you just look so cute. You're all bundled up and you're just reading." I was just like, "You should come read too. You've got," "Well, I don't have anything." And I'm like, "There's all these books I've bought you." And I'm just like, "You have all of these to read through." I just don't want a video game. And I get it, because, he has to read enough at work that, because he's literally, they're not
tickets.
Yeah, he's reading through the tickets and everything. He's not on a tablet at this point. They're not to a tablet, as far as he's said to me. Like, they might have a screen, but I believe they are like printed tickets or whatever, like what you would send with the products and everything, right?
Yeah, okay, like a label or whatever, a packing slip.
Yeah, like a packing slip or whatever. So he has to read plenty at work. So he's reading constantly all day long. So I get that. But at the same time, I think it would benefit him if he could take a half hour a night to read something fun.
Yeah.
I think it would be good for him, because, I mean, honestly, he plays that Ark survival game and it makes him so mad.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I encourage everybody to read more, because the more you read, the easier it becomes, right?
Yeah.
And the more you actually can understand what's going on in the world around you, right? And my partner and I did see a commercial a while back. I thought I told you about it, about the TikTok, about the girl who started a book club. And now more and more people are starting to do like online book clubs. And they're like reading together and everything. And it's such a refreshing thing, because my partner was like, "I didn't know they would do such things like that on the TikTok." And I was just like, what encourages me is the gal is obviously like in her 20s somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what encourages me, because it is so easy to get sucked into a digital world. It's so easy to get sucked into a video game. It's so easy to get sucked into a TV or movie or anything like that. And it is really hard to get out of that digital habit. And your brain actually needs that break.
Yeah.
It's like, and I hate to say it, but even if you're reading on your laptop or your computer or your phone, it's at least a break from the digital overstimulation.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many awesome things out there.
Yeah.
It's like, trust me, some of these kids right now that are going like, "I'm going to be part of this book club because it's so fun to read these classics and everything," which on the classics for me, I just, Tale of Two Cities, it's okay. I mean,
I tried listening to that a while back, and I was like, maybe sometime later.
Yeah. Well, like, Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, like that I can handle, but like some of Dickens, because he was a little bit pompous, I'm just like, hey. I'm like, next. And it's just because they use a lot of different terms that people wouldn't understand. I mean, Dickens would get canceled today if he used that language. He'd get totally
just his name would get him canceled.
That's right. Dickens, what, bitch? You ain't sticking nothing in me, right?
We'll see about that. Says Tiny Tim.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Please, ma'am, we can all have more.
For fuck's sake. Oh, God. You give a whole new meaning to the term. Please, sir, can I have some more? Give it a whole new term, a whole new meaning, sir. But I don't know.
It wasn't me. It was Dickens that did it.
Dickens did it. Dickens got into it. Dickens did it. You're terrible. You're terrible.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I will look up Larry Correia. And I know, I've read one Dresden book, but I think it was somewhere either 6 or 7, I think I read.
I mean, the first 3 are okay. They're good enough to make you be like, okay, maybe we won't read another one. But after book 3 is when it gets really good.
Well, that's the interesting thing is like when the book I read, I know I read at least one Dresden book, and maybe it was 5, maybe it was 6, maybe it was 7, like in that range. And I remember going, okay, this wasn't that bad. because we used to swap books at the shop all the time. All of us used to, Martin, my ex, everybody, we used to all switch books all the time. And but I was just like, but this doesn't make any sense to me. This floating head doesn't make any sense to me. Well, Bob didn't make sense to me. Like, I didn't understand it. So maybe starting at the beginning, but I understand Dresden. We've talked about it enough, right? But the idea of actually, and I've even said this before, and I think it hasn't been a possibility in my mind until having a library card again.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, oh, a group of people who go out and hunt monsters. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't think I'm interested in the Lands series.
Okay.
Because that's like lit RPG.
Yes.
And I'm okay with fantasy. I'm okay with sci-fi. I really like some horror. I like suspense and all of that kind of stuff. But I don't think I could fully appreciate a lit RPG especially if I had to roll any fucking dice, because I don't have dice.
That's not involved in reading the books.
But I don't want to hear about their I don't think I would like to read about their armor rating and how they got that. I don't think I would like to read about them, especially that evil book you mentioned where the guy's like, everything's so shitty, and then his girlfriend dies right before he gets there.
Oh yeah.
She gets there. Like, I don't want to read that shit. I mean,
you don't want to read Alter World. Play to live.
Like, there's nothing wrong with Dean Koontz, Stephen King have been my go-to for decades. I love it. I was 9 when I read Stephen King's It. I was too young to read it.
And then some.
And then some, yes. But my mom didn't know. I snuck it from her, and then it was too late by the time she found out. So ha 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 ha.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Mommy. So, I mean, Stephen King, Dean Koontz, they're great. I was pleasantly surprised with the last Dean Koontz book that I read, which was The House at the End of the World or whatever, because it was his same old, but it was a little bit different because it was an ancient alien
Obviously,
entity.
aliens.
Spoiler alert. It was so I want to go through the Odd Thomas set again, but when I looked it up at the library, I must have done something wrong, because they were saying they don't have the book at all. They don't have the book series at all, which I know can't be right. But it could be if people have stolen all the copies and they haven't got any new ones.
Yeah, who is to say?
Yeah. And then, Stephen King, I didn't care for his gunslinger, like the Dark Tower series.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I made it like maybe... And that might be my problem with this Maze Runner series is, about 30 pages in, I started feeling the same way as I did about the Dark Tower series. I'm just like, ugh. I liked...
They have a movie for that.
No thanks. I'm good. I had an ex who watched it, and I walked in, I was just like, I'm good. I'm pretty sure I actually fell asleep. To be sure. I know I fell asleep.
During everything, so...
I don't fall asleep during everything unless it fucking totally bores me. If it bores me, it's going to happen. You dirty ass dick. Dirty ass dick. I don't fall asleep
Nope.
for everything.
There will be none of that.
There'll be no dirty dicks up in this fucking house.
No ass dick either. No, thank you.
I've always told you, you're going to get that one girlfriend who's going to be like, but Dagda.
Here's a plug.
They're going to be like, it's not the same thing. I know. You're just going to have gross tears. You're going to have like a tear streaking down your face like, but I don't want to. Keep your butthole away from my penis.
No poop.
She's going to be like, but it's so minuscule. It's minute. I don't know. Anyways, we should not be talking about your dirty ass dick. Let me tell you that right now. I think
that's for After Dark.
You know what? I don't even want to talk about your dirty ass dick on After Dark.
Yeah, me either.
It's bad enough we have to tell everybody how small it really is, It's so minuscule. Like, I think everybody should be reading, though, honestly. I even think you should be doing a little more reading, too.
Yeah.
I don't think you have time.
I mean, I read for my class.
Yeah.
I read role-playing game books.
Oh, there you go. I don't know, but like for you, you actually can get into them in that way because you can envision all the things because you've been playing RPG games for so long.
Yeah.
Like you can envision what it's telling you that this is going to be, these stats will give you these results.
Yeah.
And this is your ability. So
I'm
you
also
can,
relatively apt at fucking visualization.
can you visualize this?
Yep.
Just get the message loud and clear.
Nope.
You're like, I thought, but I didn't understand it. No, I mean, and that's a good thing for you because, it's going to sound wrong if I say when you were a kid, you had to play with yourself a lot. Because I don't mean it that way. I meant that you were alone a lot when you were a very young child. So you were your own entertainment.
Yeah.
In a non-gross way. So you had to learn how to visualize everything. Just like I still can't fathom, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I didn't think it was appropriate to text you and be like, so how did you had to cook for yourself when you were 5 years old, right?
I don't remember ever doing that.
Okay, because you had the people you lived with.
You
said you had to feed yourself.
Yeah.
Canned dog food or dry dog food?
Dry dog food.
Okay, that's not as big of a deal.
Big ass fucking barrel of basically a garbage can full of fucking dog food. Because they had several big dogs.
And they'd forgotten to go grocery shopping, or that's all that you could figure out how to eat?
No, it was like out on the porch, and I had lost the key or something. I couldn't get in the house. So
Okay.
I either forgotten and locked myself out of the house or something. And so I was fucking hungry, and I ate some fucking dog food.
It is not nice to laugh, okay? It is not funny. It is in no way, shape, or form is it funny, except for the fact
It's funny because it's not me, as Sean would say.
it's funny because I know how smart you really are. And I know I can just see 5-year-old you going, well, it's food.
Yeah. It's like that one time in the army when I dropped my fucking whole ass breakfast. Only hot breakfast that I had had in 2 weeks on the ground. And then I picked it up and ate it anyway. And my buddy was watching me and he was laughing his ass off. He's like, you look like a fucking Mentos commercial. Just look at the camera and shrug your shoulders and then just fucking go for it.
I forgot about those commercials.
Yeah.
No, okay. I'm composed. There's only tears of laughter running down my face. It's not, like I said, if any other kid had told me that story, if any other kid had told me a story, I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be like, yo, bitch, let's have a conversation. That's not how we treat kids up here. But knowing it was through your own fault.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had fucking fucked up and left the key in there. Because I, like, every time other than that, I got in and out of the house just fine.
Yeah, but it's just the fact I can actually, and I've seen pictures of you at that age, so I can actually see you sitting there with your thinking look, which you still do to this day, and going, well, the dogs eat it and it's okay, and I'm hungry and it's food. Meh.
Yeah.
And I know people who used to eat cat milk, who used to eat cat food with milk.
Cat milk. How do you get the nipples in your mouth?
The little teats. And I milked the little teats.
Oh, man, I saw this fucking video that pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah? So
it was supposed to be a funny animal video, and for the most part it was. But this one fucking scene, I was like, I'll murder the fuck out of that thing. So there was this mama dog, and it's laying down on its side. And obviously she has puppies or whatever. They're not there, but you can see her teeth, and it's obvious that she's like been nursing. And she's like laying sort of beside this wall, and this baby goat comes up, and it tries to suckle, and she like barks at it and basically tells it to piss off, and it fucking rams the shit out of her in her head, and it smashes her head up against the wall, And then she's like stunned and like twitching and shit, and then it starts drinking. I'm like, I will fucking slit the throat of that fucking goat right now.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that somebody's fucking recording this and not doing something about it.
Yeah.
That just, ugh. Well,
That goat's about to be mutton. Oh, that's sheep.
so what did you think of dog food?
I mean, actually, the funniest part about this is that when I was in the army, they would fucking serve us veal. Mm-hmm. And they were like, it was kind of like chicken fried steak.
Okay.
But it's veal. Mm-hmm. That veal tasted just like the dog food.
So it tasted good to you or not? I think veal tastes disgusting myself.
It was okay.
To me, veal has the texture of liver.
It is very soft for beef.
And it has this oddly, I don't have a
spongy sort of texture to it. Almost.
I was gonna say it has almost this shitty taste to it, like this grassy shitty taste to it. And it's just like I don't know. There's an Italian restaurant down the hill from where my grandparents' place was, and I didn't know. Like I'd only had veal one other time, and it was in like one of them Swenson's. Dinner with my grandfather.
Yeah.
Now that was pretty good because basically it was just their Salisbury steak. I mean, you're not fooling anybody. It was basically just Salisbury steak with pasta noodles. Okay.
Yeah.
It was the same. It looked exactly the same. It tasted the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my grandfather and I tried each other's like TV dinners, and I'm just like, oh, it tastes like the same. And he goes, yeah, I think it is the same, except for I got mashed taters and you got pasta. But anyways, and yeah, I remember I ordered it because I'm just like, oh, it wasn't that bad. And I had a coupon for this place and I was taking myself out to lunch and da-da-da-da. And I was just like, I'd like to try this, please, because it was 50% off. It was buy one, get one half off if you ordered chicken or veal parmigiana.
Okay.
You couldn't get two of each, though. You could only get one or the other, and there was two of us there.
Okay.
So I did not like it. And I definitely didn't. I found out, I mean, as I've gotten older, I figured out why I don't like veal. Ooh. But yeah, there was just, the texture was wrong. The smell was wrong. The smell to me reminded me of driving by the rendering plant heading from Texas to New Mexico. That's what it reminded me of.
I'm hungry, but I also want to barf.
Exactly. So anyways.
Taco Bell.
Excuse me. Ooh. I don't know. I'll have to check out Larry Correa maybe.
Yeah.
Crap. This is not what we were supposed to talk about today, but I'm glad we talked about books because I love books. And I'm like, want to encourage everybody to get out there and read more.
Read a book. Read a book.
Read a motherfucking book. Have a good day, you guys.
Later.
Bye.
Okay, everybody. That's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.